Hello, everyone. Welcome to another developer workshop from XDC community. Today, we are joined by plugin community contributor and educator Chris Powell, who's also an overall just blockchain educator and a leading member of the XDC community. Today, he will be setting up and deploying a decentralized Oracle plugin node, which is a layer 2 built on the layer 1 XDC network. So, Chris, thank you for joining us today and putting on this workshop. And you want to go ahead and just give yourself a brief introduction of yourself and what you'll be doing today, and then go ahead and kick it off.
Yeah, no, first and foremost, thank you. I'm actually honored. This is actually, this is my first workshop. So, I'm actually really excited about this. And as far as myself, my background, yes, blockchain educator, been in the blockchain space for 5 years, have my background in physics, love looking into stochastic modeling and markets and finance. So kind of tap into so many different things, but yes, I'm community contributor of GoPlugin. I've been with them since May of last year. So it's an exciting journey, and I cannot wait to actually get this workshop going.
All right, sounds good. We'll go ahead and kick it off.
All right, so let me share. Okay, can you see that?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So again, I'm Christopher Powell, community contributor of GoPlugin. GoPlugin is a decentralized Oracle network. They are a platform that operates on the powerful XDC blockchain. It is indeed a layer 2. What they do is they allow for oracles to connect to smart contracts. Oracles are simply entities that allow for real world data to connect to blockchains. One thing to consider is that blockchains are they're walled gardens. So, actually being able to get the outside data into a blockchain, that's very crucial. And so it allows users to create, or GoPlugin allows users to create Oracle nodes, and they reward individuals in their native token, Ply. It is an XRC20 token, and each node needed to run test jobs before they're submitted to the GoPlugin's team in order to stake the Ply token. So for actually making the Ply node, you're going to need Google Chrome, which we do indeed have, an XDC Pay wallet, which I'll quickly walk you through how to get that, a virtual server. We're going to use Vultr for this demonstration, the GoPlugin node GitHub page, and then we're going to use either the terminal, command prompt, or PuTTY. If you are a Mac user or Linux user, you're more than likely going to use the terminal. I'm Windows right now, so I'm going to use the command prompt. So first, let's make sure that we have the XDC Pay wallet. Now, I already indeed have it. I have to log in, but if you were to click on the puzzle piece and then you go to the 3 lines on the top left and then look down at Open Chrome Web Store, you'll see where you can search XDC Pay. Oh, no. Okay, so interesting. Let me look and see again. Maybe XDC Pay. Okay, there we go. It's no space. So go ahead and click on it. I already have it, so I don't want to remove it. And so once you have that, you want to make sure you save your 12 words in a secure spot. You're going to need XDC as well as Ply tokens, in which you can get them on Bitrue for this demonstration. And once you have that, that's when you'll be able to continue. And so next, you need a virtual server. Now, the server that we are using is Vultr. I actually already have it pulled up. And so for the workshop, we're going to use this server here, Apply Workshop. And so it's best for this node to have at least 50 gigabytes of storage space. You want to make sure that you're grabbing cloud compute. I grabbed regular performance, but you can do like a higher performance if you want to. Any location is fine. Ubuntu 20.04. And then the server size, I'm doing the $20 a month for this demonstration. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, let's go ahead and pull up our command prompt. Now, what we want to do is we're going to type SSH spacebar root at, and then we need the IP address for Apply Workshop, the VPS. We're going to go ahead and paste and then press enter. I'm going to type yes. And then now we need the password. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to copy the password. And paste by right-clicking and then press enter. Okay, so now we're in our VPS. And so next, because we're in our VPS, we can go to the next step. Now we need to open the setting up a GoPlugin node automated script method. There's two ways you could do it. You could either just type in github.com/GoPlugin and then look for plugin deployment, documents, and then node underscore autosetup.md, or you could just simply type it in through Google search. So we're going to go ahead and do that actually. Setting up a GoPlugin node automated script method, and it should be the first thing that pops up. So we're here. Shout out to INV for Fee 2020. He is another amazing contributor for GoPlugin. So first, number one, we need to copy this command, and then we're going to paste into our VPS. We're going to press enter. And what we're doing here is we're simply just making sure that the VPS is just simply up to date. So it has the latest packages and the entire system is updated. While that's running, we're going to start number two. Now for number two, we can create a new admin user account. We're going to copy this command here, and then we're going to open a new notepad. So I actually have the notepad opened. We're going to paste, and then what we need to do is we need to change where it says my underscore new user. We need to change it. So we're going to say for this user, we'll name it Zinfin. And so where it says my new user, you want to change it to Zinfin. And then for my underscore new underscore password, we need to change it. So let's just change it to workshop. So the password is workshop and the username is Zinfin. Let's just go ahead and for now, let's go ahead and save. Save it as workshop. And you'll want to make sure you save your notepad. There's going to be a lot of information that you're going to need to take in to in store somewhere. So next, we're going to copy, and then we're going to paste this into our VPS. So by right-clicking, press enter. All right, so now we need to exit out of the terminal, and then we can open it right back up. Command prompt, SSH spacebar root. Nope, not root. We actually have to change it to our new name. So it's zenfin at, and then it's going to be the IP address. Press enter. And now for the password, remember it's workshop. Okay, so now we're in. And the point of that, you just want to make sure that you have, a new admin user username. So we're going to go back to here. Now we're going to run step 4. So step 4 here, step 4I or 1. We're going to copy this list of code or commands, and we're going to paste it here by right-clicking, press enter. Now press enter, and then from there, we can start number 5. And number 5, we're going to be deploying the plugin node. So copy, and then let's paste, and then press enter. And then it asks for your password. You'll want to type in workshop. Now, this part is where it takes quite a bit. So I suppose you guys would have to, hear me talk for like 20 minutes or so, because this part does take quite a bit of time. But I suppose during this time I could kind of give a background for myself. So,
yeah, we can kill a little bit of time.
Yeah, sure.
I figured that too. When I knew you were going to put this workshop on, I was like, man, I remember going through this process, and I remember having to wait a little bit and kill a little bit of time.
Yeah, this part takes, even in step 6, it says 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, we have to, kill some time somehow. So usually, I will go in the kitchen and grab myself some tea or some water or something like that, get some food, come back. But I'm not going to do it this time.
Yeah. If anybody has, any questions, either about like XDC maybe, or any of the resources, I put some links in the room chat for plugins, documentation, the link for XDC Pay in the Chrome store. I put plugins, GitHub, all that in there for people to use. But if you have any questions just about plugin or XDC, go ahead and ask away, and we'll get those questions answered. In the meantime, Chris, if you want to, I know we kind of had this conversation a little bit in the beginning, but if you want to just sort of talk about what got you, working with plugin and sort of what you do for plugin.
So how I got into it, it's a funny story actually. So, there was a huge node craze, like the whole 2021.
I remember that.
So, I was making node guides for different companies like Presearch and Storex, just had plenty of guides. And, a company called GoPlugin, they were starting to kind of come out and introduce themselves, like I think around like the end of November. And, they're mentioning that they had a node. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me check it out. Well, it was one of those things where everyone was hitting me up like, whoa, this node is actually really hard to set up.
I remember that.
Can you, Chris, take a look at this? And so I'm thinking like, oh, okay. Well, let me try it. And so I tried it. I had originally looked at Mr. Blockchain 22, Sal. He had attempted it, and he did indeed tackle the node part. The problem was that this node was originally a 2-step process, and there was where you had to actually start the node, which is the easiest part, but the second part was the external initiator. And that part was a pain. And not many people could tackle it. So I would say about the end of December, I went ahead, had the blind shut for a few days, just grinding out just different things of what I could do. And then I figured it out, wrote a guide up, and I posted it on YouTube. Well, GoPlugin actually messaged me on Twitter, and they were just like, I will not lie. At first, it seemed pretty cryptic. I even had to ask them, like, "Hey, am I in trouble? I'll take the guy down," because it seemed like as if because they mentioned something like, "Oh, we're in concern about the guide" or something like that. And so I was like, "Oh, I'll take it down. I don't want to get in trouble." And then they messaged me, and they're like, "No, we appreciate you helping. We want to compensate you for helping us out." So I was like, "Oh, okay." And so then after a few months later, the guide's starting to get a little bit more easier. And, I was just, every time they made a new guide or someone made something to make the process easier, I just kept rewriting the guide and just kept remaking videos. And eventually, it was May 23rd of last year, they messaged me on Twitter, and they were like, "Hey, we wanted to talk to you," and went from there.
Could you, I know, because you mentioned the two-part process, right? The second part being the external. Could you sort of break that down, maybe, like what those steps are doing? What is the external? Like, what is that actually? Could you break that down a little bit?
Sure. So I actually made this, so basically the external initiator, it simply tells, like, because this is an Oracle node, and the Oracle, like the node in itself, you're running, and you're trying to run jobs. You're trying to, make sure that these jobs are up and running. Well, the external initiator tells when a job will run. What it does is it allows jobs to be initiated. Any initiator can listen to an event and run for any job. The ability to create an external initiator to Ply nodes enable blockchain agnostic cross-chain compatibility or interoperability. So yeah, the external initiator, is seeking to find like when that job will run on the node. And so that part in itself, I would say, is the part where a lot of people were tripped up, because there were so many different components when the node when they first started like allowing people to create the node.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that whole process. And I like the story of sort of what you said, right? You saw that there was an issue, right? And there was the need, and you put in the time to fill that need. And then look, it landed you, the community contributor, an educator, gig with Plugin. So there are stories like that, a lot, right? Where in the community where there's like needs. And if you just take the initiative to try to contribute where there are needs, who knows what kind of opportunities can open up for people.
For sure. I highly agree with that, because, I talk to individuals all the time that, they too would like to find jobs in Web3 and Web3 space. And I tell them, hey, just from experience, a lot of these Web3 companies, they need help with actually being able to explain these products that they're trying to deliver. And so if you're able to effectively explain these products, you make videos or you make guides or however you do it, then that will bring the attention more than likely to you, from these companies.
Yep, exactly. And we have a question here already. Someone asked, I'd like to know the benefits of running an XDC node. Well, the example we're doing today is actually for a plugin PLI node, which is a layer 2 decentralized Oracle on the XDC network. Now, if you're talking specifically about the XDC network, it's a delegated proof of stake that has master nodes. So that would be, sort of a different process than what we're doing today. But, benefits of that would be, contributing to the consensus mechanism and operation of the XDC network. But also, there's a return involved with master nodes, for XDC. But it does require 10 million XDC to be staked. Now, as far as a plugin node, I guess, Chris, you want to just get into that, a little bit? Like, what is the benefit? Obviously, it's a decentralized Oracle, right? It's offering an Oracle service, and I know we've talked a little bit about what Oracles are already, but I guess break it down just a little bit of what it's bringing to XDC and to the plugin network, right? The node, what if you're running a node on plugin, what is it that you're contributing, to the network, and what are the benefits of it?
Well, you're running, like, if we do maybe like a little comparison or whatnot, you have Ethereum and then you have Chainlink, and Chainlink is the main, perhaps the biggest Oracle network for Ethereum. And, they're bringing in outside world data onto the blockchain. And so that is effectively what GoPlugin is doing for XDC. And so, you imagine you have all this data that is just ready to be unlocked and just added into the blockchain. Like, XDC, Zenfin is already a very powerful blockchain, and, the node, how you're able to contribute, you're contributing by allowing for more, outside world data to come onto the blockchain of itself. And so, like, right now, for example, you have weather data. GoPlugin is one of the use cases for right now that GoPlugin is using is weather data, and the data in itself is being collected by individuals that have weather units that GoPlugin is rewarding for actually collecting the data for them. So that's another example.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and share that in the chat here about the weather nodes. I know, for instance, like the weather nodes, I saw a couple of examples of how that was being utilized was for like farmers and stuff like that, and then even for like insurance purposes on farmers, right? I guess to like verify, weather information and keep a record on the blockchain of, live feeds of weather data, so, and then look, that's just actually bringing the information on. There's different ways that information can be used, depending on who needs the information and who values the information. But I know that's just one example. And like what it can also do is oracles, like you said, same as like Chainlink, is you can have these external factors and external data that's off chain interact, with smart contracts that are actually on chain, so I know that's one of the bigger use cases for oracles. So I guess how much PLI at the moment, is required, I guess, to stake, with these nodes?
Right now, the minimum is 2,000 ply, which I want to say that's somewhere around, well, I don't have to guess. Let's just go to CoinMarketCap real quick. CoinMarketCap, and then PLI, and then it's just 2,000, $116. Perhaps just a tad bit more, maybe like at the most like 130, just to cover like certain fees. But really, that's it. That's the minimum. The max is 10,000.
And I know Plugin, themselves is also, they've hosted a couple of workshops. I know they've, contributed heavily with even like developer and sort of a developer focus, on the XDC network with the workshop or with some workshops and hackathons. They've had hackathons themselves and stuff like that. So I know they're contributing heavily on the developer front for the XDC network and for Plugin.
Oh, for sure. They're definitely doing a lot. One day we'll get over to Dubai to get to one of their workshops.
I know. I think what would be another good workshop, because I know today we're setting up and deploying a node, but I think a good workshop would be how to actually leverage this Oracle service with like smart contracts on the XDC, right? Like actually see these things and work, and how you can actually leverage the Oracle would be another good workshop to put on sometime in the near future.
Oh, for sure. I highly agree. One of the things that's starting to come out with GoPlugin are the price feeds, the data feeds. So, there are already some nodes that are operating where they're running jobs to, collect data on different prices like Bitcoin or gold or XDC.
Yep, definitely. And if anybody else has any questions, feel free to ask. I think we still got quite a few more minutes to kill. So what is this process?
No, we're actually ready to keep going, but what was your question?
Oh, no, I was going to just point out, what is it that was actually happening at this moment, this process we're waiting on? What was it actually doing?
So it was literally creating the node.
Okay.
Well, so like actually the entire process, it was creating the node as well as it was running the external initiator. And so both the node and external initiator should be ready. Type in PM2 status. Yeah, status online, initiator start and node start. So both are ready to go.
That was quick. I think that was faster than 20 minutes.
Yeah, it seemed like it's getting much quicker, but I'd say on average it takes about 15, 20 minutes.
Nice. All right. Well, I'll let you go ahead and keep going.
All right. So now, at this point, you should receive this information. It says important information. Please record to your password safe or just somewhere safe. So we're going to copy that information and then we're going to actually paste it into our notepad. So paste, and then let's go ahead and just save into our notepad. Next, let's copy the plugin node GUI IP address. This is very important because this is how we're going to actually get into our node. And so let's open a new tab and then we're going to paste and go. Now you should receive this, and that's okay. Just click on advanced and then proceed to the IP address. And so now we can access the node. The email address is simply going to be your API username. And so let's copy and we're going to paste. And then we're going to copy the password and paste into here and then access account. Now we're actually in the node. If you will go to keys and then scroll down, you have your regular address. This is the regular address for the node. We're going to copy it. You can also look here. It says plugin node regular address is here. So you have two ways of getting to your regular address. What we need to do now is we need to fund our node. And so we're going to fund the node with 1 XDC and 1 Ply token. So I'm going to log into my wallet. Okay, and so let's go ahead and send 1 XDC first. And then let's send 1 Ply token. Okay, and now let's refresh the home page. All right, and you can see Ply balance is 1 and the XDC balance is 1 as well. So from there, let's actually go back to the GitHub page. And so number 6, we've done. Number 7, we've copied all this information. We're now at number 8. And number 8 is saying that we need to run the Oracle deployment task. So let's go ahead and click on it. And now we can actually expand this a bit. We're on the deployment page. We're going to run an Oracle contract because we need the Oracle contract address. So we have to use Solidity for this. So let's go ahead and open XDC Remix. Okay, and so now default underscore workspace where we are, we're going to click on contracts, and I do indeed already have some. We're going to go ahead and make a new file. And so with the new file, let's name it workshop.sol. Just remember, you need a .sol, so press enter. And then let's go back to the deployment page and scroll down. We're going to copy 2 lines of code. We're going to paste it here. And now we're going to the Solidity compiler. We need to be in 0.4.24. All right. And now we're going to compile. And now let's go to deploy and run transactions. The environment, you want to make sure you're in injected Web3. You'll know if you're in injected Web3, and you'll know if it's correct when you actually see your account. Just to confirm, BDA0. If you go to the XDC Pay, BDA0, so that is correct. And then now you have the contract, which is indeed the Oracle. And before we deploy, we need the contract address for GoPlugin. So let's go back to the deployment page, and we're going to copy here. And then let's go back to Remix. We're going to paste. And then we need to change the XDC in the beginning to 0x. So it should say 0x, FF7, etc. Now let's deploy. Click submit. Okay, and so now let's pull this up just a little bit. We have under deployed contracts, we have the Oracle at XDC, F, etc. We're going to click on the arrow next to Oracle and scroll down, and you should see set fulfillment. We're going to go ahead and copy the plugin node regular address, and then we're going to paste it here under next to set fulfillment permission. We're going to type comma, and then we're going to type in all lowercase letters, TRUE, or true. You want to click on the set fulfillment permission button and then click submit. And it should take a few seconds. Okay, so now we should have a second check mark. We want to click the arrow next to debug, the second debug, scroll down, and you should see where it says to oracle.setFulfillmentPermission, and then you'll have this address here. We're going to copy it, and then we're going to go to our notepad. Let's paste it, and then in front of the address, we're going to type OCA, or Oracle Contract Address. This is very important, so you want to make sure you have it saved. Okay, so now, because we do indeed have that, let's go back to the deployment page, and then we're going to go back to the GitHub page. We have done number 8, and now let's go to number 9. Number 9, we're going to copy this command, and then we're going to go back to our VPS. We're going to paste, press enter, and now let's run number 10. Number 10 is simply stating that we need the alarm clock test. We're running a test, so just to make sure that the external initiator is seeing that the node is connected to basically the contracts. Simply just saying that the node is connected to the external initiator, everything's running perfectly. So we're going to run that job. So now press enter. Okay, and now it's asking for the Oracle contract address. Let's Let's see if I can actually drag this up just a little bit. If not, then I'll just have to let it sit. Okay, I think I just have to let it sit. It doesn't want to go up. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, so enter Oracle contract address. We're going to copy the Oracle contract address here, and then we're going to right click and then press enter. All right, your alarm clock sample job ID is 6195, etc. We're going to copy and then we're going to paste this into our notepad. So let's name it alarm ID, and then we're going to paste it, and let's save it. And we can also go back to our node and then go to the jobs, and you can see that the job is the alarm job test did run. So the external initiator is picking up the jobs. So that's good. That's good news. So now the next thing we need to do is we need to go to number 8 once more, because we need to test to truly make sure that the node and the external initiator is actually running. So let's go back to number 8, and we're going to click on it. And then where it says Oracle next to deployment, we're going to go down to testing. And so this is testing to make sure that the Oracle can communicate with Plugin and start sharing data. So now we're getting to the fun stuff. Your node will be able to share data. So what we need to do is we're going to copy here. You know, you have this this code here. So we're going to copy it, and then we're going to go right back to Remix. Let's close that. And then let's go back to File Explorers. We're going to create a new file. Let's name it Alarm Workshop.sol. And then that code that we just copied, we're going to paste it here. And it's 47 lines of code. Now, the code that is important for us is lines 21 and line 22. You have the Oracle and the job ID. We need to change this to basically fit for our node. So let's go ahead and copy the Oracle contract address here. And then we're going to go to line 21, and we're going to paste. And then for job ID, we just copied it. We're going to copy here. And then we're going to paste it here. And you want to make sure that you paste it in between the quotations. So this looks good. Everything looks fine. So next, once again, compiler 0.4.24. We're going to compile alarm workshop.sol. Now, you received a warning. That's okay. Everything's fine. Just keep going. Next, let's go to the environment. Again, injected web 3. We are still in our account, so that's fine. And now we need to deploy the contract alarm clock sample. So once again, we could either go to deployment and then go to the address here, contract address. If you don't want to do that, you could also go to GoPlugin.co, and then at the very top, it's a smart contract address. So you have two ways of actually receiving that smart contract address. But we do indeed already have it. So let's go ahead and paste it. And then remember, you have to change this to 0x. Click deploy. Click submit. And under deployed contracts, you see that you have the alarm clock sample at XDC, etc. We're going to go ahead and copy this value to clipboard, and then we're going to send some tokens. We need to send 0.1 ply, line 23, the fee, 0.1 ply here. So let's go ahead and send to this address, 0.1. Click next, then submit. And now let's wait a few seconds. We're going to click the arrow next to alarm clock sample. Scroll down till you see request alarm clock. Now type in the number 2 and then click request alarm clock. Click submit. And we're going to wait until we see another check mark, which it should have went through. I believe this is actually it. I pulled this up at the same time it went through. How we can actually confirm that it did indeed work is we can go back to our node, and then let's go to runs. Okay, and here we go. This is indeed our run created just now. It says completed. We can click into it, and the alarm job actually did go through with all check marks. So this node is ready to be deployed to GoPlugin. You can submit it to GoPlugin. Let's go back real quick to the GitHub page, and we're going to scroll all the way down to number 12. And so you need to register an account on the oracles.goplugin.co site, and then submit your node for approval. Let's see, click on here. And then, you know, we sign in. This is actually my page, but, you know, you will want to add node here. And then from adding node, you would type in the name of what you want to name your node, a short description of the node. So just simply just stating, hey, my node is going to be used for various jobs, such as price feeds or weather data. The node image, just simply a picture, you know, whatever the picture you want to have for your node. The provider, so voter for this demonstration, your IP address, so the IP address of the node that, or from voter that you used. We can actually go back and copy the IP address. Let's see, here we go. As if I was doing it, paste. Operating system, Windows from this, well, actually, no, take that back. Even though I'm using Windows, it's actually Linux because it's the VPS's operating system. The RAM, so this is 4. Storage, 80. And then security patch, you just type in latest. Oracle address, we could just copy here, paste, node address. Remember, you have 2 options. And then the wallet address, this is indeed my wallet address. And then the network, mainnet, and then from there, save changes. And then once you've done that, you wait. It's between, I want to say, 24 to 48 hours. The GoPlugin team is going to verify and make sure that the node is stable and everything is up and running. Again, a good sign would be that your job is indeed running. So the Oracle node is actually up and running with a successful job. After that, once GoPlugin team sees that the node is actually ready to go, they'll message you and say, hey, the node is ready to be staked. You can stake a minimum of 2,000 tokens or a maximum of 10,000 tokens at this point. One last thing, I suppose I could do it, and I did have it pulled up. This is very important. We're going to pull up the performing a backup and restore options for the node. So, let's say something happened with your VPS or something happened where, mistakes were made. And this has happened quite a bit. And you try to actually restore the node. You can't do it because you didn't actually restore it. You can back up the node. And so to actually perform the backup, we're going to copy here this. Actually, first, you want to just type in performing backup and restore operations on your plugin node. You can search for it through INV for Fee 2020. And so we're going to scroll down to where you get to performing a backup. We're going to copy here. Do not copy this section here. So just copy this. And then we're going to paste it into our VPS. Actually, make sure I copy it. All right. Okay. This part seemed to not want to work for me this time. It's pretty crazy. Let me just copy the whole thing and then I'll just paste it. There we go. I don't know why it did not want to work for me. I'm going to go ahead and delete this section here. And then press enter. Remember your password for this demonstration was workshop. Press enter. And then it says backup setup script. Now, we're going to scroll down. Keep scrolling down. The following commands will perform a full backup. So if you want to do a full backup on the node, like everything's fully backed up, this is your best bet. If you only want to perform the configuration files, you can do that for your backup. Or if you want to just perform a database backup, you could do that. So we're going to actually go ahead and do the full backup. That shouldn't take too long. Let's copy and then let's paste. Press enter. Okay, and so the backup is complete. We're going to copy this whole section here, and then we're going to paste this into our notepad and make sure you save. And again, make sure this is saved in a very secure place. Now, let's say we let's go back to the setup a GoPlugin node automated script method. Let's say that you wanted to back up your node after you ran a few alarm test jobs. So like, let's run another alarm test job. We're going to run two jobs. So this should run. Okay, so another alarm clock sample job ID is here. We're going to run one more. Okay, now that has popped up, and let's go back to our dashboard. Let's go back to the node, and okay, you see 1 minute ago, and then you see just now, and we can do a little bit of a comparison. 60B7, 60B7. All right, so now let's go back. We want to go back to the restore page for the node setup. I'm going to close these out real quick. Oops, cancel. Jobs, VPS. Okay. We're going to run this portion here once more. All right, and now let's do a restore. Let's say you didn't want these two. Let's just say that you just wanted the one from 16 minutes ago. We're going to do a restore, and we're going to pull the one from 16 minutes ago. So we're going to copy the in-place restore, and then we're going to press enter. And for this section, you want to choose the number 1 because we're looking for the DB file. Press enter. Are you performing a full restore to blank / new VPS? Please select yes or no. No, we're not. Okay, and then this shouldn't take too long, but I have seen it where it can take quite some time. But we do not have that much information with this node, not the main thing, so should be okay. Yep, there we go. DB restored. Okay, so now let's go to our node once more, and let's see what happens. All right, you see? The restore has worked. The jobs only made it to just 1 instead of 3. And so that is, this is very crucial just because it's like, if you know that maybe something has messed up with the node, I mean, you can always restore to a certain point where the node actually did work. So 18 minutes ago, and the restore was complete. But as far as the overall node, the node is done. If I wanted to turn this node in, I could do so.
Okay, so you would need to, if you wanted to actually, because this is obviously a demonstration, right? So if you wanted to actually submit it, right, to, I guess, join and actually participate in the network, you would need to then submit it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Good deal. Right. Well, man, seamless process. Like you mentioned earlier in the workshop, I remember when the whole plugin thing, nodes first started up, there was some headaches around it. Now it seems like a pretty seamless and easy process. Everything's figured out.
Yeah, for the most part. And, what's interesting was knowing that last year, I want to say from the months of September to, I want to say November, it was around that area where I had to make a new node video or a guide almost every 2 weeks because there was some issue that was happening with the node, but it seemed to be fixed. I actually had this this PowerPoint mention it, if I can actually find it. Here we go. So, we didn't have to do this section here. This was kind of like the workaround fix because what was happening was, like if we go to PM2 status after you ran the number 5 in the GitHub page to actually run the node, the node start would say online, but if you got to the dashboard, it wouldn't want to open. Yeah, it was a lot of weird stuff. So, and then there was some points in time where the node would run, but the external initiator wouldn't run. And so they did have a fix, which would be here, but they fixed it. You do not need to do any of this.
All right. Well, we've got a few people, left in here. Does anybody have any questions for Chris before we wrap this up? Also, while we wait for any questions, want to mention that this will be, or it is being recorded, and we will have it uploaded to the XDC community YouTube channel. If anybody wants to reference it in the future or is going through the process, needs some reminders or whatnot, it'll be on the XDC community YouTube channel. We've shared that quite a bit, but I will go ahead and share that in the chat here real quick for everybody. Also in the chat, we provided, GitHub for plugin, their website, documentation that was used throughout the process for setting up this node. Doesn't look like we have any questions, but we also had the XDC community Discord. You can follow Chris on Twitter. I will provide that for you real quick as well for everyone to use. And we want to just thank everybody for being here today and for joining us. Chris, thank you for being here and joining us and putting on this workshop. It was a good, easy, smooth process. And again, just thank you. Everybody have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.